Right now, the FBI is at the North Carolina home of Paula Broadwell. Broadwell is the mistress of former CIA Director David Petraeus. And tonight, FBI agents have been seen carrying boxes from Broadwell's home and taking photos inside. General Petraeus resigned Friday after admitting to an affair with Broadwell. New details of the sex scandal continue to emerge. We're going to bring you the latest as we get it. And now, what's the truth about Benghazi? And why did the Obama administration not brief Congress? National security officials under extreme heat will finally brief the Senate Foreign Relations Committee about Benghazi. Senator John Barrasso is also on that committee. He joins us. Good evening, sir.
Thanks for having me.
So you're going to get information for the first time tomorrow. What about the timing of this? Are you disappointed you're just getting it now?
Well, in a bipartisan way, a number of senators asked for this information actually before the elections, and finally we're going to get it this week. But the president's having a press conference Wednesday. The American people have a right to know what really happened in Benghazi. We've gotten so many reports that are conflicting. They disagree with one another. We need to know the truth. The American people deserve to know the truth. There were 4 dead Americans who I believe didn't have to die.
Do you have any issue with the fact that this is going to be a closed hearing? I mean, I realize that there's certain information that, you know, in every investigation it's classified or secret. We have grand jury information or national security information, depending on the type of investigation. But do you have any pause that this is behind closed doors?
Well, no, but I'm still hoping to get the fact. And the reason I'm not concerned at this point is the last time we had a classified briefing with all of the senators, I mean, to me, it was one of the most worthless briefings I've ever heard. That's why afterwards I came out and told people I thought there was a cover-up going on because we weren't getting information. So I want to be able to ask specific questions about the lead-up over the months prior to the attack on 9/11, the specific timeline. And you know there's contradictions in the timelines of what comes out from both the State Department as well as the CIA. And I want to know what's happened afterwards. What did the president know? When did he know it? And what did he do?
I find it sort of interesting, though, that you're not forcing. It seems to me that the key person in this, and this is not to pick on General Petraeus while he's got this little personal issue going on, and except that I think it can be in some ways might be intertwined with the investigation. But he's not coming to testify tomorrow, and he's the one who presumably, we're told, within 24 hours of 9/11, heard from his station chief in Libya that it was terrorism, and then for reasons that are totally inexplicable, went to Capitol Hill and then said that it was this video within about 3 days. That's bizarre. That's a completely different story. What happened between the 12th and when he went up to Capitol Hill?
Yeah. I expect that at some point former General Petraeus is going to need to be testifying, and I know that, there's a bipartisan call for that. Dianne Feinstein, the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, has said that as well. The American people really need to know what happened.
Why wait? I mean, the American people and the families of the 4 have been waiting since September 11th, and they waited through the election. Some people think it was political, and that the Obama administration wanted to do everything it could to push this off, including, everyone sort of putting his head in the sand about this, for weeks. So why not cut to the chase now and get him in there and ask him?
Yeah. I'm ready to get him in there. I don't have the authority to subpoena him and bring him in. We're going to make sure that he does testify. But Secretary of State Clinton ought to be testifying. We need to hear. The American people need to hear from the president, though. We've had too many conflicting stories, evasive answers. The American people need to know what happened. There are 4 dead Americans. We want to make sure this never happens again.
Are you suspicious still of a cover-up? More suspicious, less suspicious?
Well, we need straight answers. We still haven't had them. You have conflicting timelines. You have information that you just don't know where the truth really lies. So I think that there is, what do you want to call it, stonewalling, cover-up, conspiracy. You can use a lot of different phrases for this, but I don't think the American people yet know what happened.
I'd like to know, and I think maybe the American people, what in the world's going on at that annex, that CIA annex? I mean, how many CIA agents are there? What are they doing? I mean, we're hearing all sorts of stories about that place. I think that's an important area of inquiry. What are they doing there? It says that the CIA is not holding prisoners there, but I always wonder when the CIA says the CIA is not doing something, I wonder, well, maybe we're not asking the questions. Are you paying somebody else to do something?
There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. The number one thing we have to do is to prevent deaths of brave Americans, ambassadors, and colleagues, and we need to make sure that never happens again. You think about the calls for help. They asked for additional troops months in advance. Then there were 2 attacks on the consulate, 2 months apart. Then they asked for additional security. Never got the additional security at all. I need to know why.
All right. Well, if you don't get the answer, I hope you come out and say that you're dissatisfied with the answers. And if you don't think it should have been classified, I hope you tell us that too, so that we can at least not be suspicious that everyone's trying to hide things by calling everything classified.
The American people have a right to know, and leave it up to the press to really ask the president tough questions on Wednesday at his press conference.
Senator, thanks, sir.
Thank you, Greta.
Coming up, can you say awkward? President Obama taking direct aim at business owners during the campaign, and now he is inviting them to the White House. Why? And how will that meeting go over? You will hear our panel next. And in 2 minutes, this year's Victoria's Secret fashion show creating even more heat than usual. Why is one of the outfits so controversial that it got pulled from the TV broadcast? You'll see for yourself. That's just 2 minutes away.